Discipline comes from having no choice by Conquer. It's 9 p.m. You are on the couch scrolling through your phone. You know you should be working on that project. The one you said was important. But this video is interesting, and you will just watch one more and you have had a long day anyway. And you can start fresh tomorrow. And etc. That is the gap. It is 6 a.m. Your alarm goes off. You know you should get up and go to the gym. You set this alarm last night when you were motivated, but now you are warm and comfortable, and maybe you could go tomorrow instead. You did work pretty hard yesterday, and one day off won't hurt. And etc. There is a gap. It's Monday morning. You open your laptop, you know exactly what you need to work on, but first maybe you should just check email real quick. And Twitter is right there, and you will just look for 5 minutes to see what's happening. As this and this one thread looks interesting, and etc. That is the gap. The moment between knowing what you should do and actually doing it. The dead space where your brain offers you options, where you negotiate with yourself, where you consider alternatives, where you find reasons not to. This gap is what is destroying you. When the gap kills, you think the problem is motivation or discipline or willpower. It is not. The problem is that every time you enter that gap, you are burning energy. Every single negotiation drains you. Every time you have to decide whether to do the thing you already know you should do, you are using up a finite resource. Willpower isn't unlimited, it drains throughout the day like a battery. And if you are forcing yourself into the gap multiple times every day, should I work out? Should I eat this? Should I work now or later? Should I check my phone? You will run out. By evening, you will be cooked. You will give in. Not because you're weak, but because you have been swimming upstream all day. This is why people say it takes 30 days to build a habit. After 30 days, the action becomes automatic. Your brain stops offering you options. You just do it. The gap disappears. The problem is, 30 days is a long time to fight yourself, and most people don't make it. But you don't have to wait 30 days. You can kill the gap immediately. You can make it impossible for it to exist in the first place. Not by strengthening your willpower, by removing the need for it entirely. You do this by eliminating the decision before your brain gets a chance to negotiate. You make it so that when the moment comes, there is no gap. There are no options. There is only one path forward. Here's how you kill the gap. First, environment. The gap needs options to exist. No options, no gaps. If you want to stop eating junk foods, don't keep junk food in your house. Not in the cupboard, not in the back of the freezer. Nowhere. When you are hungry at 11 p.m. and feeling weak, there should be no gap. There should be no moment where you stand in front of the pantry thinking, should I eat this? Because there's no this to eat. Only healthy food exists in your world. The gap is dead before it can start. This is the most obvious method, and people still don't do it. They keep the cookies around for guests or for special occasions and then wonder why they keep eating cookies. You're creating gaps for yourself. Every time you see those cookies, you enter the gap. Should I? Maybe just one. I have been good today. That negotiation drains you. Delete TikTok, delete Instagram, remove any ad that makes you doom scroll. Delete your games, sell your TV, sell your gaming setup, get a dumb phone if you have to. These sound extreme because they are, but they work immediately. There is no gap where you negotiate with yourself about whether to open Instagram. The app doesn't exist. The choice is already made. You cannot slip even if you want to. Two, understanding. The gap thrives on bullshit. On the lies you tell yourself, on the reasons you manufacture for why this time is different. A glass of wine a day is actually healthy. This person drinks and they're fine, so I'll be fine too. Everyone does it anyway. These are not facts. These are entry points into bullshit land. That place where you twist reality to justify what you want to do. Where you grab onto some mystical counterfact and give it absurd weight compared to all the logical facts that contradict it. Where you negotiate with yourself using fake evidence. Deep understanding kills bullshit land. It makes the gap impossible to enter because the lies stop working. I used to skip brushing my teeth at night constantly. I'd be standing there exhausted and my brain would immediately start negotiating. Nobody's going to smell your breath. You didn't eat much sugar today. You have never even had a cavity. You can do it in the morning. Just this once won't hurt. That is the gap. And I lived in it every night, sometimes giving in, sometimes forcing myself through it. Did I watch it a 2 hour Huberman podcast on oral health? Not a quick video, a deep dive into what actually happens in your mouth overnight. What it does to your gums, your teeth, the bacteria, your overall health. I understood viscerally what skipping meant. Now when I'm exhausted and standing in my bathroom, there's no gap. My brain doesn't even try to negotiate. The lies died. There's no argument to make. I know too much. I just brush my teeth. Understanding doesn't motivate you, it kills the negotiation entirely. I would call it myself, as Yusuf, as the reader, I would call it the awareness of the issue, um, and the awareness of the consequences, as he describes it. The same thing happened with drinking. I knew alcohol was bad. Everyone knows alcohol is bad, but no one is in understanding. In the gap, my brain had plenty of room to work. I'm fine. I'm in control. Everyone drinks. I'm not an alcoholic. Just tonight, just one. You watching videos and podcasts about what alcohol does to your body. Reading books is even better because you delve into the subject deeper. Reading stolen focus is helpful to stop scrolling. But the most effective thing I did was watch a video of myself drunk. That was sobering, literally. There was no gap after that, no negotiation about just one drink. I'd been myself, understood what it actually did to me, not in theory, but in reality. The lies stopped working. This is why understanding is so powerful. When you understand something deeply enough, you stop negotiating with yourself. Negotiation phase, the gap, is where willpower does. Remove it by making the reasons so clear that arguing with them feels stupid. You can push it yourself when you actually understand. 3. Schedule tightly. Give yourself a strict schedule and don't deviate from it. When the schedule says work, you work. There is no gap. There is no moment where you check if you feel like it. There is no negotiation about whether now is the right time. The schedule already decided. You just follow. Now you are going to tell me you have heard the very successful people say they don't follow schedules. Naval Ravikant talks about working on whatever interests him. Mark Anderson says he doesn't plan his days. They work when they feel like it, on what they feel like working on, and they are more successful than you will ever be. Here is what they don't tell you. They have been working hard for decades. They have been internalized the habit of productive work so deeply that is automatic. They love what they do. The gap doesn't exist for them anymore. When they sit down, they work. There's no negotiation. It's already built in. You haven't built that yet. You are taking advice meant for masters and using it as an excuse to stay undisciplined. I shouldn't force it. I should work when I feel inspired. No, you need the structure first. The freedom comes later. You need the structure first. The freedom comes later. If you even want to, if you even want it by then. Same thing with the person who plays video games at night and is still productive the next day. They have earned that flexibility through years of consistent output. They are not making the decision to be productive each morning. It's already automatic. The gap is dead. But you still have the gap. So you need the schedule. The schedule kills the gap by making the decision in advance. When the time comes, you don't choose, you just do. 4. Focus periods. The gap gets stronger when you don't know how long you'll have to resist. If you are trying to be disciplined forever, every moment becomes a negotiation. Maybe I can relax now, maybe this one time. I have been good for so long. The London Underground figured this out. People were constantly complaining about waiting for trains, so they installed countdown displays showing exactly when the next train would arrive. Complaints dropped. The trains didn't get faster. People just stopped feeling like that the wait was endless. 5 minutes with a countdown feels shorter than 5 minutes of not knowing. The same principle applies to your focus. Kill future gaps by creating clear boundaries, both daily and over longer periods. Daily, periods of deep work first thing in the morning. No phone, no distraction, just work. Then you can do whatever you want the rest of the day. Long term, a week, 3 weeks, a month, define a period where the rules are absolute, where there's no flexibility, where you are in monk mood. The power of this is psychological. When you know there is an end point, the gap weakens. You are not committing to this intensity forever. You are committing for a defined period. And after that, you can relax. Right now, in this moment, you don't know, you don't need to give in to the distraction. You'll have time for it later. The gap tries to open, maybe just 5 minutes on Twitter. But you already have an answer. Not now. After the 3 hours, the negotiation dies. And by the time you reach that end point, you will probably want to extend it anyway, because you'll have seen what you are capable of when the gap doesn't exist. 5. Sign a contract. When I started doing periods of monk mode, I write out a contract. What I was doing, what I was going to do, what I was going to avoid, the exact time period. Then I would sign it on my honor. It sounds ridiculous. It feels ridiculous while you are doing it, but it works. Here's why. Signing something creates a psychological point of no return. You have made a formal commitment, not just to yourself in your head, but on paper, with your signature. When the gap tries to open, when your brain starts negotiating about maybe bending the rules, just this one, you have an answer that exists outside of that moment. You already decided, you signed it, the negotiation is over before it starts. This is why contracts exist in the first place. Not just for legal reasons, the act of signing makes you more likely to follow through. It's a psychological mechanism. You have publicly committed, even if the only public is you looking at the paper later. Write down your rules, be specific, sign it. Put it somewhere you will see it every day. It removes that last bit of wiggle room your brain might try to create. The gap needs room to negotiate. A signed contract takes up that space. 6. The ultimate. Want it so much the gap never appears. Here is the truth about all 5 methods above. They work, but they are mechanical solutions. The most powerful state is when you want something so badly that the gap doesn't exist at all. When you care so deeply that there is no negotiation, no hesitation, no dead moment between knowing and doing. When you truly want something, the gap never responds. You just move. This is what Naval and Anderson actually have. Not just decades of built habits, but genuine desire for their work. They don't need schedules because they want to work. The gap is dead not because they killed it, but because it never appears in the first place. Most of us aren't there yet. We haven't found the thing we want that badly, or we have not numbed ourselves into not wanting anything intensely. That's fine. That's what the 5 methods are for. You build intensity through reward patterns. You use the methods to create wins. The wins make you care more. The wins make you care more. Eventually, you might care enough that you don't need the methods anymore. But until then, kill the gap mechanically. I wrote more about, okay, but for now, just know the methods are the path. Wanting is the destination. Kill the gap. Let's see. The gap is killing you right now. Every day, multiple times a day. Every time you stand there negotiating with yourself about whether to work out, whether to eat clean, whether to work, whether to check your phone, you are draining yourself. You are burning energy that you'll need later. By evening, you will have nothing left. This is why you fail. Not because you are weak, because you are spending all day in the gap. You don't need to wait 30 days for it to get easier. You can kill the gap right now, today. Remove the junk food from your house, delete the apps, watch the videos that will make the lies stop working, write the schedule, set the time boundaries, and sign the contract. Stop giving yourself options. Stop entering the gap. Build a tracks so tight so that you can only move forward. The gap will try to open as you read this. Your brain is already negotiating. This sounds intense. Maybe I'll start next week. Maybe I'll just do it. Do one or two of these things. Maybe I don't need to be this extreme. That is the gap talking. You can close this tab and do nothing. You can close this fucking video and do nothing. You will be right back in the gap tomorrow morning, wasting energy on the same negotiations. You waste energy on every day. Or you can kill the gap right now. Or you can kill only one gap right now. Pick one thing. Remove one option from your life. Make one decision that eliminates future decisions. The gap is already there. It's not going away on its own. The gap is already there. It is not going away on its own. You have to kill it. So kill it.